Hello everyone, this is Connie Heckman. Today I'll be showing you guys how I make my fufu and soup. In my last video, I took you guys to the African store to buy some ingredients. I bought goat, fufu, fish, and chicken. So today I will be putting it together and I will show you guys exactly how we make our fufu and soup in Liberia. All right? So I'm going to go ahead and add the water to this. Okay. So once I got the water in, I'm going to go ahead and add my seasoning. I just put a little salt. I don't cook too much salt, but I just need a little bit to bring all the flavor together. Then I'm going to do my seasoned salt. My chicken bouillon. Chicken bouillon in there. Some black pepper. And then I'm going to let it come to a boil. Once it boils, then I'll go ahead and add the next thing. So the goat is cooking. I'm going to let it cook for a while because it usually takes a little while before goat cooks. It's a little bit tougher, especially the skin. So I'm going to let it cook for a little while. Once it's cooked, then I'll add some of my other ingredients. So I bought a red pepper, onion, and tomatoes. I'm going to cut this up and I'll blend it in the blender. And I'll add like a little bit of habanero peppers on there to make it spicy. Alright, so I did buy chicken gizzard. So this is how it looks like. This is the packaging that I got in. Heritage Farm. So that's a chicken gizzard. That's how a chicken gizzard looks like. For those of you who don't know what chicken gizzard look like, this is what it looks like. And I'm going to go ahead and add that to my goat so you can cook with the goat. Alright, so we have to clean the chicken gizzard. So sometimes you will see like these little pieces on there. You got to try to remove them. I already did that before I remembered to record it. But you'll see them, they're all over it sometimes. Sometimes you might find one that doesn't have it. But so I just got to make sure I don't have any of that on here. Right. Yeah, pretty much it's clean. I'm just going to go ahead and wash it. But you can see. Like that. There's a little piece. Oh, this one. See that? You would just peel it off of it. All right. We'll go ahead and add our chicken gizzard. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut our onion. I'm gonna just cut it little in big pieces because I will blend it. I'll put this in a bowl there. So put all of this in the blender and blend them. The tomato. All right, so I am going to go ahead and add like some seasoning in this before I blend it. A little bit so I got these cubes. I'm gonna add a few of them to it. Just few. I'm not gonna do the big one too. Do the big one. Again, when you put this in there, and then you try it and it doesn't taste right, or it doesn't taste good, you can always add some more cube. But the issue is you don't want to put so much in there, then it's hard to make it less salty, so you don't want to do that. So less is more at first, and then just see how it goes. While it's cooking, you can try to taste it and see if it tastes okay. Okay, and go one more. So I'll blend this. Just gonna go ahead and add a little bit of water. And then a cup of habanero peppers. All right, I'm gonna add a few habanero peppers. These are very spicy. Again, I just add 2, but then if it's not spicy, I can go ahead and add more. And you don't want it to blend too much, so I think that's enough. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and dump this into the pot. All right, so I am going to show you guys. This is the okra we got from the store. I am going to cut them up. Let me move my camera down. All right, so we're gonna cut this. I'm gonna cut these up. So let me show you guys. Because I'm gonna boil them. So I just take the ends off. You can chop them if you want, but normally I just leave it whole. But it's easy. Once it's boiled, it's easy to kind of blend it. You don't want to blend it too much. You probably just gotta like match it, like a mashed potatoes. So just cut it like that. So you see, you just take the ends off. I don't know if you can see the ends, but it's kind of hard. So if you don't take it off, it's going to be really hard. Hard to chew too. I mean, not too hard, but. All right, so I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna put it in a pot and I'm gonna boil it by itself. All right, so while the goat is still cooking with the chicken gizzard, I'm gonna cook the okra. But I wanna kind of season it first because so the seasoning can kind of cook within the okra. So I'll just drop one of these cubes in there. And I'll put a little bit of chicken bouillon in there. You don't want this to be too salty. You just want it to cook with it to taste good. So you're gonna eat this on the side. You're gonna put it on the side of the fufu, and then you're gonna mix it up with the soup. All right, so it's gonna come to a boil, and I'll show you later. All right, let's check out the goat and the chicken gizzard. Okay, so I'm gonna test it and see if it's cooked. Yeah, the skin is a little bit softer, so it's good. Then I'm gonna go ahead and add the rest of the stuff. I think I'm gonna do the fish, shrimp, and I might not put the other fish that I got from Africa. So I'll just do the fresh fish and the shrimp. So the okra is boiling. All right, so I'm going to add the rest of my ingredients before I add my mixture of my peppers and onion and tomato. All right. So as you can see, I do have the fish that I bought. This is a Kroger fish. Then I got some shrimp, and then I have the African fish. I got this from Africa. I'm not sure what the name of this is, but it's they got the fish and they dried it. So I'm gonna add that in there with my shrimp, and then I have my fish. All right, so we'll just go ahead and add it to our dish, and then before I go ahead and add my sauce on it. And make sure, one of the things I wanted to let you know too, make sure you clean the fish, because the scale was on there a lot, so I had to clean it. And you don't want it in your food, because that, yeah, it will make it not so good. So you want to clean all the scale from on the fish, and then wash it, and then before you put it in your food. All right, so let's go ahead and add it to our soup, and then I'll show you exactly what happens after that. All right, so that's our goat meat with our chicken gizzard. I'm gonna go ahead and add the shrimp to it. And again, you can add any kind of meat you want. Again, I always like goat, so that's my favorite. You can use beef instead of goat. You can use, if you don't like shrimp, you can add crab. I went to go get a crab legs, but then they didn't have it. So that's why you don't see crab leg in here. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and add my dry fish. So you can see I need more water on this. So I'll go ahead and add some more water. What time?
Like 9:15, so I'll leave here like at 9.
All right. All right, so the okra is almost done. So you're gonna have to match it. All right, we'll go ahead and add a fish. All right, I'm gonna turn this off. So you can see it's cooked. It is soft, so when I try to match it, it's gonna like I said, you're gonna match it like you're doing mashed potatoes. All right, so I have all my ingredients in there. I'm gonna go ahead and add my blended pepper, onion, and tomatoes. All right, so I'm just gonna be careful not to stir it so hard, because you don't want to break up your fish. So I'm just gonna gently make sure I'm not breaking up the fish. All right, so I'm gonna let that come to a boil, and we should be getting close to it being done. I just put the lid back on. All right, so let's check our soup. Wow, looking good. Again, be careful not to split up the fish. So you want to be careful so it doesn't break into pieces. And at this point now, you can you can taste it and see how it tastes. But I'm gonna let it cook a little bit more so the tomatoes and the peppers can kind of cook a little. And then the fish is still kind of raw yet, so I won't taste it because I don't like raw things. So that's what I'm gonna do. Let me just cover it up and then we'll taste it in a few minutes. All right, let's go ahead and try our soup. It tastes delicious. Probably gonna have to add a little bit of pepper, habanero peppers, because it's not as spicy as I would like. Again, at this point, you can add more seasoning. If it's not to your taste, just go ahead and add a little bit more seasoning. You can do seasoned salt, you can do the chicken bouillon, and just add a little bit and then try it before you, don't put too much, because it's easy to add more than it takes them off. All right, so we're gonna let it cook down a little and then it'll be ready. Let me just show you guys, it looks very good. We got our shrimp in here, we got our fish, we got the African fish there, the chicken gizzard, and the goat meat. Check it out. So once this is ready, this is what we're gonna eat with the fufu. Now I'll show you guys how to make the fufu. All right, let's check our soup. It's looking very good. So this is the pepper, we call it pepper soup. So this is a soup that we'll eat with the fufu, or we can eat it with rice. So you can just take this, pour it over rice, and eat this with rice. Yeah, so this is our fufu, this is our soup. You got the meat, see the fish. And the fish is almost cooked. And we got the shrimp. Let me try it. I just added a little bit more spices or habanero peppers because it wasn't hot enough. Let me try to see if it's hot. Yeah, it's pretty good. All right, like I said, we're gonna let it cook down just a little bit and then we'll turn it off. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour the okra in this bowl. All right, so I'm just gonna eat it like this, like that. I don't like to blend it because when you blend it, it makes it way too slippery and it kind of like really fine. So I just like to beat it like this. It's a little bit, but all right, let's check this out. All right, I think it's cooked. You don't want it to get too dry because then you won't have the sauce. You won't have too much sauce to put on your fufu or your rice, so you don't want it to be too dry. And you don't want it to condense too much. So I think this is just perfect. It smells very good. Sometimes I go ahead and put like a bay leaf. I'll just drop bay leaves in here to give it that smell. So you can do that, but I didn't do it today. But sometimes I do just drop in like few bay leaves in here. Or you can put oregano in there too. So anyway, this is how our soup looks like. It looks very delicious. It tastes very good. Now I'm gonna show you guys how I make the okra and the fufu. All right, so this is how the okra looks like. I beat it up, so it took a little bit, but I like it like that. But if you want, you can blend it, but I don't like to blend it. So normally we just eat it like that. So this is what we use with the fufu to make it a little slippery so it can go down easy. Right? And fufu is supposed to be swallowed, not chewed. You don't chew fufu, you have to swallow it. So for a lot of us that don't know how to swallow fufu, this kind of makes it a little easy because it kind of makes it slippery so it can go down easy. All right? So let's go ahead and try to make our fufu. The soup is already ready. Our okra is ready. And there's something else I want to show you. This is it. It's called sesame seeds. We call it Benin seed in Liberia. So what we do, I already got some made here. This is, we kind of like put it in a pan and we saute it or we kind of like a roasting. And then once it got hot, like it kind of cooked a little bit being roasted, we took that and put it in a blender and blended it. I will show you how it looks like. Let me find out. So it looks like that. So again, just sesame seeds that we took and then we roasted it in a pan. And then once it was cooked, like roasted very nicely, like it's kind of brown, we took that and we put it in the blender and we blended it. So this is what it looks like. So we're gonna add this to our fufu. We'll put this on the side of the fufu, we'll put this on the side of the fufu. Then we'll add the soup on it, and that's how we eat fufu, all right? But let me show you guys how we make the fufu. All right, so this is the fufu we are gonna make. This is the one we bought from the African store. It has plantain in it. So I'm gonna try to make this. And we make this in the microwave. The original ones in Liberia, you make it like in a pot. But this one is microwavable, so we just make it in the microwave. Let me put this here. I'm not gonna make a lot because it's just me. But normally when I have people over, I can make this whole box. Just a dust, see? This is an old one that I had. So I still have some in there. This is a new packet that I just bought. So I got this one, but I had some more in there, so. All right, so this is how it looks like. That's the fufu. Most fufu in Africa are made of cassava, but like this one is plantains. So now I'm gonna make our fufu. So I just put a little water. Normally I try to do this with my hand, and I think I'm gonna do it with my hand because you want to make sure that you mix this up, that it gets like it's all watery looking, so you don't have any knots in it. Or you can use a spoon, but the spoon doesn't do it well. Just put more water in it. Again, I'm trying to make it look like a paste. I'm trying to turn this into a paste. And then I'll use that. I'll just put that in the microwave. And the thing about making fufu, you gotta be very careful. You don't want to put too much water on it. Because if you put too much water, sorry, I think I got something in here. Like I was saying, if you put too much water in it, it's gonna be too soft, and you don't want it soft. So you just want it to be just right. Because you can always add more water. So like this, it's getting close. Because you can see all the knots are kind of disappearing. So that's good. Turning into a paste. Alrighty. So I'm just going to add a little bit more water. Again, I just want enough water to make sure it's cooked. Because you don't want it to be like not cooked and you can smell it. It tastes like a dough or something. Oh, it smells like a dough, so. All right, so the consistency is pretty Pretty smooth. See, you don't have a lot of knots. I mean, there's still a little bit knots in it, but it's not as bad. All right, so I think this is good. I might just add just a little bit more water just to rinse my hand here. Alrighty, so that's how it looks like. I don't know why they got this little. All right, so this is how it looks like. We're gonna go ahead and put it in the microwave. So this is what a fufu look like. Okay, I'm gonna put it in the microwave for 4 minutes and then I'm gonna try to show you what happens. So I put it in for like 2 minutes. I think 1 minute and 30 seconds is gone, so I just took it out because we don't have much in there, but look, it's getting a little thicker. So you don't want it to be too thick at first. So you want to kind of consistently stir it, like just kind of mix it together. So you see it's getting a little thicker. So I'm going to put it back in. And you can just put it in the microwave and leave it there because it's going to get hard very quickly. You don't want it to be too hard. So you want to kind of keep mixing it till it's kind of just right. So I'm going to put it back in. It's getting a little thicker. And it's cooking while it's doing that. Like this, yeah. Okay, so the fufu is getting ready. I just put it in for a few more minutes in the microwave. So I'm gonna keep mixing them up. And that's the key, you have to continue to mix it up. Alright, so I just need a little bit more water on this. I put a little bit more water because I want it to cook. So I'm gonna keep doing this so this consistency can be smooth. And make sure the fufu really cooks. So we need to put it back into the microwave for a few more minutes because I need it to cook. Right now it's not cooked yet. We are getting there.
Thank you.
So it looks like it's cooked now. So this is how fufu looks like. So, we're gonna go ahead and plate it. Every African person has a fufu bowl, and this is how it looks like. You can't just eat fufu in any kind of bowl. You gotta have this special kind of bowl. So usually you just put a little water in it so it doesn't stick to the bottom. And you put a little water in your hand. And I would just, because it's just me, so I'm not going to eat much. And I just put this in here and kind of do a certain kind of way. I'm not too good at this part, but people are good. I'm trying to make sure it's kind of smooth. So you see? I didn't do too bad. So you have your fufu. Let me get it closer. Now your fufu. And then you will take a little okra. You just put a little bit on the side. And you take a little bene seed, which is sesame seed. That. And you put a little bit on the side here. If you want, you can put it on the top, but I usually put mine on the side. Then you just go ahead and add the soup to this. All right, so I have the fufu and soup. I got this, so I got my fufu. I got my sesame seeds. Then I have my okra. This is my fufu. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add my soup to it, and then I'm gonna show you. Okay, as you can see, this is my fufu. This is my sesame seeds, and that's my okra. I'm gonna go ahead and add my soup to it. So I like goat, so I'll put a goat on here. You can just put it on the top. I like shrimp, so I'll put one shrimp here. A fish, piece of fish. So I got a piece of chicken gizzard. Add it to that. Maybe a fish from Liberia. And then I would just add a little bit more soup to this. You can put as much soup as you want, but I kind of just like a little bit of soup. So this is your fufu and soup. Maybe I'll add a little bit more soup. That's your fufu and soup. You get it all mixed together. The sesame seed and the okra, you mix them all together, right? And you're just gonna take a piece of this and you're just gonna mix it in here. So once I mix it all together, I'll just take this and you swallow it. You do not chew this. Some people do chew it, but it's not meant to be chewed. It's meant to be swallowed. And that's why you put the okra to help it go down easy. So this is my fufu and soup. Again, I wanted to show you guys how I make my fufu and soup. This is a meal that my family don't really eat. Like my husband might eat the soup and rice. The kids, they probably just like, I think my older son will eat this. Only my older son will eat this. Julian will eat this. But everybody else, they are very picky, so they don't eat too many things. So yeah, so this is our fufu and soup. This is how it looks like. And I just wanted to kind of show you guys how to make it. If you have any questions, just leave it in the comment below and I'll be able to answer some questions. But I just want to take this time to say thank you so much again for joining me. And I hope you try this recipe. All right. If you like this video, please subscribe, like, comment, and I will see you in my next video. Again, I hope you tried this. See you later. All right, so I'm going to plate this fufu. I put a little water in here so it doesn't stick to the bottom. So I'll take the fufu like that. And I will get some water. And I will just, you have to fold it over. I don't know whether you can see that, but you just take this other part, you fold it over. And you fold this over. I'm not too good at this part, but because the key is you're trying to make it as smooth as possible. So let me try to turn it around. Mine is not perfect, but this is how you make the fufu. So it's supposed to be very smooth. But that's my fufu.